Welcome to the Art of Vibrancy podcast. It's a place where inspired experts distill their brilliance down into simple, practical advice that you can use right away. It's 8 minutes, it's 4 questions, and it's one practical piece of advice that you can put into use today. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Art of Vibrancy podcast. Today, I got a treat for you. We have got with us Rhianne, did I say it right? Rhianne.
That's right.
I keep singing the Fleetwood Mac song. Rhianne from Believe in Your Health. Rhianne, where are you speaking from today? Tell our audience.
Hi. Well, I'm coming to you from Canton, Massachusetts, across the pond, and I'm so happy to be here.
Great, lovely to see you here. What's the weather like there? You're quite a long way inland there, aren't you? You're.
Yes, our weather is all over the place. It was 70 degrees just 3 days ago, and today it's like in the teens. We had snow yesterday, so
it's crazy.
We're a mixed bag over here.
I watch it on the ABC News I tune into for some of the US headlines and these weather fronts coming across. It's amazing. Anyway, we digress. I'm just going to tell our audience a little bit about you, and then we'll get on with the questions, the 4 questions.
Sounds great.
So, Rhianne is the owner and creator of Believe in Your Health, a health coaching business that offers personalised one-on-one coaching, group programs, and workshops. As a certified health coach and registered yoga teacher, she helps people to tune into their power and befriend their body. I love that. So that they can feel better in their body and reach their health and wellness goals. That's absolutely beautiful, Rhianne. So
thank you.
We're going to do 4 questions in 8 minutes. Let me just get the questions here. And I've got a little timer.
Perfect.
No pressure, but we'll just keep it rolling along and keep it in the 8 minutes. So your time, Rhianne, starts now.
Wonderful.
Okay, Rhianne, what in your experience is the biggest problem that people face as they age with regard to staying healthy, well, and positive? So they know that they want to change, but what are the roadblocks that they put in their own way?
Yeah. So I would say, other than mindset, which, I love to talk about mindset and really befriending our body, I would say I want to talk about today, like, big food companies. So food companies, not all, but most, especially the big ones, they don't care about our health. They only care about making money. They're businesses. And so most of these companies are using cheaper ingredients, like any and all derivatives of corn, soy, and wheat. So 2 biggies here are like your inflammatory oil. So oils made of corn, vegetable oil, soybean oil, again, kind of the corn and the soybean, and refined sugars. So food companies are adding in more and more refined sugars into foods that you wouldn't even expect sugar to be in, for the reason that it makes it taste better and it makes it addicting. So they're using, a lot of cheap, addictive ingredients in, any of our foods, anything that's processed, even minimally processed, like deli meats, but, salad dressings and frozen foods, of course, your sugary treats, but then your chips, your crackers, things that you wouldn't expect to have sugar in them. And they're adding them in there so that we'll eat more. We eat more, we buy more, they make more money. So, I think so often with our health, we kind of look to ourselves like, if we're not feeling well in our body, like, what am I doing wrong? And, sometimes it's just, the foods that are available to us, but there are ways around that. There are ways for us to learn how to, decipher between foods that are really, truly healthy for us and the foods that aren't, so that we can feel better in our body. Though these food companies, I really want to focus on this today because I think that they're doing a great job at tricking us. I'm a health coach, and they even trick me sometimes into thinking that a food is healthy. And they'll slap on new labels like all natural or diet or, what are some other ones? Even like gluten-free, fat-free, organic. Some of these labels, like all natural and, doctor recommended, they mean nothing. They're not regulated.
Yeah.
And then these other labels like gluten-free or organic, or fat-free, they don't necessarily mean they're healthier.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Like fat, for example, fat is not a bad thing, like we kind of, dietary fat and body fat, two different things. Fat does not make us fat. And fat gives our food flavor. So when food companies are taking out the fat to do, reduced fat or fat free and really make it, seem like it's healthy,
other junk.
Yes, they're adding in, chances are they're adding in, more sugar. But if, it's sugar free, or low sugar, then it's maybe, artificial sweeteners and sugar alcohols, which our body has a really hard time digesting.
So you're saying the biggest problem is the food companies putting all this rubbish in the food, which tricks us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So question number 2.
Absolutely.
I love that you're on, we're on the case with that, because people need to know this stuff. So question number 2, what are the common mistakes that people make, the common mistakes, misconceptions that people have about solving that problem? So the food companies are fooling us. How do they solve it? What's the
So this is where I kind of want to bring in a little mindset work, but I think that's where we have to take ownership. I really see with my coaching clients that the mistake we make is that all or nothing mindset. This mindset offers us like two ways. It's just perfection or failure. If you're not perfect, then you're a failure. But perfection is impossible. So can you see how this is such a trap? Even our failures aren't necessarily bad. Our failures are our best teachers. Let's look at like what went wrong and what we can do better moving forward. Use it as our power, So it's that trap that holds us back from feeling our best. That all or nothing mindset also, I think, leads us into feeling like we need to change everything at once. So we talked about, food. Does that mean we can never eat anything in a box or bag again? No. Really it's about what we do most of the time that matters, not the foods we have every now and then, like the frozen pizza, So I think, that's the biggest thing, that all or nothing mindset, and then how that impacts, when we want to make changes and we want to get healthier and feel better in our body, is we want to change everything. We want to do a complete overhaul with the diet. We want to, change our exercise routine or create something, 0 to 60. If we're not exercising at all, we got to exercise every day, and we got to change our sleep habits, start meditating, all the things, even just listing all that out. It's very clear that's
tiring,
what leads
isn't
to
it?
either. It's tiring. So either you end up burnt out or like the rebel behavior sets in. So really we just need to meet ourselves where we're at and start small with 2 to 3 things that feel doable. And work from there. And it doesn't have to be hard. It can be fun, really So one of the concepts I teach my clients is something I call crowding out. And it really is about adding in more of the good. The general definition is adding in more of the good stuff to crowd out the bad. And now I'm not saying that, that food is either good or bad. What we're talking about is adding in more of the nutrition, the nutrient dense foods like vegetables, your whole grains, fruits, nuts and seeds, adding in more of that. It naturally crowds out the cravings for the processed foods and the sugary treats.
That sounds like an answer to my next question, actually.
Yes.
1 minute, 29 seconds to go. This is so good. If it does go over, don't worry. We're going to carry on, okay? So question number 3. I love what you're saying. We're exactly on the same page here. What's the number 1 tip that you could give to our audience today to help them? So a tangible, specific thing, an action that they could take right away after this podcast today.
Okay. I'm going to cheat and do 2, because 1 is make half your plate vegetables. That's the best way to crowd out.
Make vegetables. Half your plate vegetables.
Yes.
Love it.
I love that. And then I also really, really need to add in is become an ingredient detective. Start to look at more than just the calories in your food. It's quality over quantity. Start to look at what's in your food, the ingredients. Get curious. And you don't need to, be a food chemist or a doctor to understand what these words are. My tips are, if, there's a long list of ingredients. If it's a long paragraph, anything really more than 8 ingredients, put it back. It's highly processed, therefore highly inflammatory, and probably not so healthful. And then, the second tip is, if you can't pronounce the word, if you don't know what that word is, that's your answer. See if you can put it back and find a similar product that has, whole food ingredients.
I love that. If you can't pronounce it, put it back on the shelf. Yeah,
Yes,
I love that.
exactly.
I love
Exactly.
that.
My favorite definition of clean eating, and I'll close with this, is one that I didn't make up myself. I got it from a registered dietitian by the name of Don Jackson Blattner. Clean eating is caring, not obsessing about ingredient quality and doing your best to cut out the crap. And I love that because, crap just makes you laugh a little bit, but crap is an
Yeah.
acronym for chemicals. C is chemicals, R is refined sugar, refined flours, A is artificial ingredients and fillers and colors, and P, preservatives and additives. So if we can do our best to minimize that and focus on more vegetables and whole foods,
I love that. And can I use that?
we'll feel better.
That's so
Yes,
good. My
it's
audience
one of
will
my
love that.
faves.
It's
Yes.
the crap. Yeah. I'll talk to you about this afterwards. We need to finish now. One more quick question. Rhianne, one more quick question. What free resource would you like to share with our audience? So what's something you're giving away?
So I'm so excited to share that on my website, I have a free download. It's my clean eating guide and grocery list. So it's a good breakdown of healthy carbs to focus on, proteins, fats, and then also my personal shopping list. So some of my favorite brands of foods that come in boxes and bags that are convenient for our busy lifestyle, but they're cleaner than some of the others that have the chemicals and the crap.
That's absolutely perfect.
The refined sugars, yeah.
Yeah, and that fits so well with everything you've been saying. This whole interview has been really consistent. So brilliant.
Yeah. Thank you.
So
I'm excited
much,
to share some practical tips. So
brilliant, absolutely brilliant today. On behalf of my audience at the Art of Vibrancy, I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart, Rhianne. And I hope I recommend them to download your list of ingredients and clean eating guide. I think I'm going to download that for sure. I bet that's
awesome. It's right on the homepage of my website, right at the top, a little title bar.
Make sure there's a link underneath. So wherever anyone's listening to this or watching this, click on the link below. So thanks very much, everyone. Thanks so much to you, Rhianne. And goodbye. See you next time.
Thank you so much, Rob. Yes. Talk to you soon.
Thanks for checking out the Art of Vibrancy podcast. If you like what we're doing here, please head over to iTunes, subscribe, rate us, and leave a review. And I'll love you forever. And if you'd like to try my energy boosting, inflammation busting, brain and body food breakfast, head over to www.breakfastofbrilliance.com and download the recipe today. See you soon. Bye.